Let's turn our attention to what is happening in the APC and the present state of things. There's one man that has spoken, and I mean, when I saw the video, I said, well a minute. What is Senator Smart Adeyemi talking about here? You know that he's always speaking his mind, but this is one thing that he said that drew my attention, and that's why I extended the invitation to him. Take a listen to what Senator Smart Adeyemi said.
Those who told you they are bringing new currency, where is the new currency now? Emefiele should explain to Nigerians how much was expended in the few millions you brought to print this new currency. Don't forget the Minister of Finance said she was not aware that there was a plan to to print new currency. So the new currency gimmick was a master plan of PDP and CBN. Don't forget that the CBN governor Emefiele and Okowa, they are cousin brothers from the same area. So they want to sing Nigerian nation. So as we are celebrating that we have a new president coming, we will not forget those who try to destroy our nation.
All right. Senator Smart Adeyemi has joined me right here in the studio. Federal lawmaker representing Kogi State in the Senate and governorship aspirant in Kogi State under the APC. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You are asking Bola Tinubu not to forget. Well, but he's won the election. Why do you think he should go back and look at those things that were obstacle in his ways?
Well, like I said yesterday in the course of my addressing some of our colleagues in the media, I did say that we have every reason to celebrate now. We are happy that we have a highly promising man who will re-resurrect Nigeria in many aspects of life. A man who is visionary, the strength of character and intelligence. So we're happy. But having said so, we must look at how we started. You know, during the campaign, there was a moment or a period when people thought it was all over for Nigeria. You have forgotten that anarchy was already setting in. People were already attacking some banks. Are you aware so many poor people died? Are you aware that those who deal in perishable items, goods, the poor woman who sells bananas, transport bananas from the south to the north, some of them got their stock perished. Some of them died in the process. The man who moved livestock from the north to the south, some of them couldn't move beyond Jeba. They got stuck. Their goods perished. Some of them died. Now, you see, we must not forget that God created the poor and the rich. So if there was a situation where majority of the poor died, some of us have a moral responsibility to raise issues.
So you're saying that Bola Tinubu should not forget this?
Yeah, we shouldn't forget because we're told.
What would you like him to do?
The calculated attempt then was to stop the APC from winning. Now that we have won, in order not to allow a real occurrence, we were told that they're going to redesign or they have redesigned the Naira. They redesigned the Naira, but where are the new notes that have been redesigned? Gradually, they're off circulation. So if the judiciary had kept quiet, the implication would have been that Nigeria would have gone into chaos. And you and I may not be here to be talking. So we shouldn't forget, because some of us, we keep history and we monitor what happens in the country. As a legislator, I have a responsibility to make laws and to raise issues that will affect the well-being of Nigerians. Now, those who planned the redesigning of the Naira note were told that in 2 weeks, at that time, there'd be enough new Naira design notes that will circulate. But months after the judiciary, the judgment of the Supreme Court, up to now, the so-called redesign note are disappearing.
If you were Bola Tinubu, when you assume office, what would you do?
I will call on Emefiele and others to come and explain what happened and what was the reason behind the redesigning of the Naira note. There was it was not discussed at the national.
But it was approved by the President, Muhammad Buhari.
Well, that is what we have been told. So we have to know.
The President himself said
it depends on the proposal.
He made a nationwide address on that.
That will not be enough if mistakes were made. That will keep quiet. If it was a mistake, it was a mispresentation to the President, he will sign it. We must know what happened. People die in that period. You know, people develop a stroke because they couldn't have access to their money. And because you and I survived, we should not care about those who died, not their making. Now we are happy we have a new president. But don't forget that some people died. Some people were forced to die, so to speak. The situation at that time, that policy killed some people innocently.
Your ambition to becoming governor of Kogi State, is it gone?
Far from it. In fact, the struggle is just gathering momentum. We're in court, and I wouldn't want to talk about the issue because it's before a competent court of law. And I will just summarize by telling you that the court is not just a court of law, but a court of justice and a court of reasoning. And I'm not in doubt we have judges of high integrity who will dispense justice without looking at who is involved. So I'm not afraid.
So you've exercised all possible internal mechanisms.
Well, we went to the appeal court. Appeal committee. They were saying that we didn't pay our dues, but they forgot that we actually paid special dues before we bought the form of over 50 million. But like I said, the case is before a competent court of law, and I wouldn't want to go into details as to the issues that we have raised, but I'm not in doubt that justice will be done.
You know the body language of the governor of your state, who was your benefactor, who bequeathed a ticket for you to be in the Senate. I mean, you consider it may be a betrayal of trust if you're pursuing in this line. Does it look like you're fighting head-on Yaya Bello in this
I'm not fighting Yaya Bello. I'm fighting the system. What made it impossible for us to have a free and fair election? Like I said, this case is in court. So let us wait and await the judgment. We are going back on the 15th of this month, and the struggle is still on. And don't forget that I am a marathon runner. You know, I'm ready to pursue it to the highest court of the land. So there's no cause to fear. My conscience is so clear that all the issues I raised in the petitions are very valid.
What do you make of what Nigerians should expect from a Tinubu administration?
Well, I think in Tinubu, there's a brighter hope for Nigeria. Today, Tinubu personified the struggle for the enthronement of democracy. Don't forget that Tinubu was one of those who gave serious support to the struggle. And we are happy that Tinubu, as emerged as the president, is a man who is highly visionary, highly enterprising. Tinubu is a highly courageous man. If he's not courageous, the time they came up with this new design of the Naira and fuel scarcity, you probably have given up or long before now. So in Tinubu, we expect to see a new Nigeria. A Nigeria that will guarantee justice, fairness, equity.
Senator Kashim Shettima said, it won't be rosy. I mean, today, the President Muhammadu Buhari led President-elect Bola Tinubu on a brief tour on the parts of the presidential villa. Those are some of the pictures of what came about. They had both observed the Friday prayers in the presidential villa mosque before embarking on a tour of some departments. The president led the president-elect through the council chamber and exited at the press gallery where State House correspondent were waiting to ask him questions in preparations for them assuming into the domestic areas, the living area, and of course the offices. Well, the same thing with Kashim Shettima and Professor Yemi Oshibajo. But Senator Kashim Shettima said, look, it won't be rosy. It might be rocky in the very first few starts.
Well.
There's a lot of Nigerians need to have their expectations properly managed. The nation and the country is in dire strait. There are a lot of things that are not working. Now, I mean, the way you're describing Bola Tinubu as though he has a magic wand.
It's not a question of having a magic wand. The fact is, he's a highly visionary man. And I'm not in doubt that he's going to diversify the economy. What we need now is to diversify the economy, look at other sources that will create wealth for our nation. He came to Kogi in the course of the campaign, and he did talk about the solid mineral resources in Nigeria with over 32 solid minerals in commercial quantity. Kogi has about 27 of them. And he did mention about it. Iron and steel complex that would have been yielding foreign reserve for Nigeria has been abandoned, neglected. He talked about it. So this is a man who is well abreast about the challenges of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima is an agroeconomics expert. Just looking at his record of service.
Former
banker, looking at his record of service in Borno State. So it's a good combination. So you heard there could be challenges, but the fact is that this is a man with tenacity of purpose.
You have high hopes of them.
Because they have tenacity.
They promise renewed hope.
They have tenacity.
But things are so very terrible and so bad at the moment that I mean, the economy is in trouble right now.
Asiwaju and Shettima.
Security, I mean, infrastructure. A lot of people will say they've done very well in that area.
Infrastructure, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, things are really tough at the moment for a lot of Nigerians.
But you see, the two of them are here for a time like this. Asiwaju is president for Nigeria at this time, and it pleases God to make it so. We need somebody who will galvanize the economy. We need somebody who is well abreast with business, global business. You know, so you need somebody like Asiwaju and Shettima who will diversify the economy to meet the need and the aspiration of Nigeria, that will help to galvanize socio-economic development, create wealth, empower the people, create job opportunities. These are the people we need now.
Would you, do you think rather that the Nationals and the 10th National Assembly leadership crisis, the controversy, could be Bola Tinubu's first major political test?
I think we should appreciate that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a politician. He is a politician of note. In fact, he is a textbook as far as politics concern Nigeria. So all these issues that people talked about, in another 1 or 2 weeks, by the time the new assembly is constituted, things will take shape, because it's a man who's well grounded.
There's a lot of agitation.
He was
the likes of Senator Yari against the run of play. We understand has more than 60 senators queuing behind him across the party lines.
You see, 24 hours is a long time in politics. Asiwaju was a former senator. Shettima is senator. Asiwaju's wife, Mrs. Tinubu, she's equally a politician and a senator.
There are a lot of people who said if, for example, in the House, Yari is threatening and is gathering momentum, and in fact, there are those who believe that, in fact, as it is right now, Akpabio's support is dwindling in favor of, now Yari is getting a lot of traction. And there are those who believe that if they go into an election in the House, the likes of Yusuf Gagdi or Betara would defeat the likes of Tajuddin.
Well, what I'm just...
And that is against the stand of the APC, which they say that is what Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima has agreed to.
Well, you must understand that Asiwaju is a Democrat. He's going to allow people to see reason, if that is his position. And superior position, superior argument will prevail. Asiwaju will not impose people. He could persuade people. He could let you see reason. But even as it is today, I have not had Asiwaju coming out to say, this is my candidate. So 24 hours is still a long period.
People from your region, the North Central, are not happy that they are not in the scheme of things. And this agitation is growing. Should we see the Saraki Dogara situation playing out? How hurtful would it be for Bola Tinubu's administration politically?
Again, Asiwaju is not President Buhari. President Buhari is not a grounded politician, so to speak. Asiwaju has been in politics for decades. So when the time comes, they will navigate themselves. It is too early to assume that this will lead to a crisis. And like I said...
It's already a crisis.
Like I said, 24 hours. Within 24 hours, all these issues can be resolved.
All right. Senator Smart, Emefiele lawmaker, representing Kogi West in the National Assembly, a member of the APC. Thank you so much indeed.
It's my pleasure.
And the man that is not losing hope as far as Kogi governorship aspiration is concerned. I wish you the very best.
Tenacity. Thank you so much.